What are the basic parts of a pop song? Does every song need a bridge or a chorus? Whatever that is. If you're wondering exactly what each part of a song is and how they are different from each other, then keep watching because today we're going to define each part of a pop song with some advanced songwriting tips so you can write your next hit. Let's blast off and get started. Konnichiwa friends, I'm Jonathan Miller and welcome back to Jonathan Miller Music, helping you become a better indie artist. I make futuristic and outer space inspired dance pop music, and every Wednesday on this channel I'm helping others take their music to level 2. If that sounds good, consider subscribing and ringing the notification bell. If not, well then no advanced tips for you. Only basic ones for you, basic. Hope you're enjoying that pumpkin spice latte. Oh god, that sounds good right now. Fine, you win. Here we go! So whether you're new to songwriting or you've got a little bit of experience under your belt, you've probably heard terms like verse or chorus or B-section, but maybe don't really fully know how to define them. That's okay, you're not alone. So today, we're gonna go through each part of a song in pop music, and the reason I'm choosing that is not just because it's my own genre and my area of expertise, but there's a lot of crossover nowadays. So I've even added some advanced terms like breakdown or drop as well. Hopefully, this way if you make an offshoot of pop music, this video will still help you out. Anyway, let's get started with the term verse. The verse of a song is the part that keeps the actions moving. It moves things forward and tells the main story. Generally speaking, a pop song will have 2 to 3 verses in it in similar lengths that are typically 4 to 8 bars long. These are very important parts of a song, and pop music is really starting to make it a requirement that your verses need to be just as catchy and hooky as your chorus, which we'll get into that in a minute, be it with witty lyrics or catchy melodies, preferably both. Now, an advanced tip for verses is finding a good combo of similarity and differences between them. K-pop music, for example, is an all-star when it comes to distinguishing verses. So if you want a great reference, I'd recommend checking out As If It's Your Last by Blackpink, because you won't even need to know the language much to know that both verses are very different, and they still work together well. Intro. This is the piece of music just before the first verse kicks in. It's usually short and sweet, but it's instantly recognizable. Now, not every song has them either. Some songs start right with a verse, but the main goal of the intro is to start building the listener into something more and kind of ease them into what you're about to start saying. That way, they kind of get a feel for what's coming. B-section / pre-chorus. So this section of a song actually has quite a few names for it that you'll probably hear thrown around depending on who you talk to. Sometimes it's called the B section. Sometimes it's just called the bridge. Sometimes it's called the pre-chorus or the hook, depending on the author's intent. But basically, it's the part of the song that gears the listener up before the chorus. Which, by the way, B section also stands for bridge section because it kind of bridges the verse and the chorus. Get it? I'll see myself out. So picture it this way. If the verse is a boat that's docked and getting all loaded up with everything, imagine the B section being the boat getting all gassed up and it's starting to back out of the dock before it really gets going. The B section is typically 2 to 4 bars long, and again, not every pop song has them, but that's kind of getting rarer and rarer because there is a mindset that if your song doesn't have a B section, it's considered lazy. I don't really subscribe to that, but I am just putting it out there for your information. Because sometimes a song just doesn't need it. It's the section of the song where things change up rhythmically and melodically, and it keeps the listener interested. Hook. Real quick before we move on, I personally define hook as a special part of the song, not just an entire section. So like a song can have many hooks in it, but it could only have 2 verses. So in a pop song, you can have melodic hooks, you can have musical hooks in the background, witty lyrics I consider to be a hook, anything that catches the listener's attention and keeps them interested in your song. So I just wanted to clear up any confusion when I use that terminology. Chorus. This is the song's biggest point of energy. It's the climax. It's filled with hooks and memorable points. It's where that boat we talked about is finally cruising down the river or setting sail across the ocean at high speed. It's usually after every B section and differs melodically from the rest of the song. It features the highest amount of dynamics and activity. And a pro tip for you, try making the notes at the end of your phrases, maybe not the exact ending note, but somewhere near it, end in a rising tone instead of going down the scale. The chorus is all about high energy, and ending your phrases on an unexpected higher note that still works creates subtle, unexpected interest in a song and can make your chorus seem bigger. The chorus is also the main idea where the title of your song typically comes from or is placed. Post-chorus. The post-chorus is a small section of hooks right after the chorus that kind of carries the chorus's energy. It's typically a repeatable phrase or musical movement and just gives your song another layer of hooks and makes your song catchier. My favorite example, and I've mentioned this in videos in the past, of a well-executed post-chorus is Lady Gaga's Born This Way in the "Ooh, there ain't no other way, baby, I was born this way" section. It expands the song's main idea, but it's also catchy and kind of continues to make the chorus moment rise. Bridge or refrain. This section is melodically and rhythmically different from the rest of your song. It also kind of acts as the closure to your song's main story, just before a final chorus. A lot of pop songs used to do the featured bridge, where this part of the song would be where the featured artist or guest rapper would have their main part of the song be, but now that's kind of dying and a lot of people just want to see their favorite artists on the entire track of the song. And the featured bridge was kind of the easiest place to put people because it would automatically make your song sound different. But this is changing quite a bit, and I don't want you to be discouraged that if you do that, your song is inherently bad. It's most definitely not. I'm just saying that that's kind of how things are progressing. Hopefully that makes sense. Advanced sections. Break. Now, a break usually appears where a lyrical bridge would be. A break is almost always instrumental, but it still acts as a bridge would perform. It's got different melodies and rhythms, and sometimes songs have a break just before the bridge too. It just depends on what you want to do with the song. Breakdown. A breakdown is pretty much the same thing as a break, except in pop with all its crossover. A breakdown is a super high energy musical section, like in dance music. It typically sounds way different, but it's still really exciting. It's upbeat and features new as well as familiar musical elements, all coming together in a new way. Drop. A drop is a small or a big moment where the energy in your song just literally drops just before a higher energy part of the song, like a chorus. This is typically for electronic music, but again, you can break the rules all you want. If it works for your song, go for it. You can actually create little drops in pop music really easily. A great place is to drop the beat a moment or two just before your chorus kicks in, because it can really make your chorus sound bigger. Pop super songwriter Max Martin is an expert at this. You can check out my songwriting analysis for Ariana Grande's No Tears Left to Cry if you want further information about that as well. Outro. This is the final section of music that's usually quite different from the rest of the song, especially rhythmically, but more importantly melodically as well. Sometimes it can act as a special post-chorus at the end of your final chorus to kind of boost that energy one last time before the boat finally gets docked right back into the harbor. Or sometimes it sounds like a completely different song. I'm personally not a huge fan of that because it makes me frustrated, but there is a time and a place for it. If you want a good reference for that, you can check out Billie Eilish's Bad Guy. So those are the parts of a pop song. Question of the video, what is typically your favorite part of a song and why? Leave me a comment below letting me know. If you want to check out my video on common pop song structures or that songwriting analysis, there are links in the description below so you can check those out. And if you like me and you like what I do, consider joining me on Patreon. I have all sorts of fun things I like to do over there with everybody. But as always, if you enjoyed this video, please leave a like on it too and subscribe if you're new. I put out new videos every single Wednesday. Once again, I'm Jonathan Miller, and I will see you next time. See you later.
Our love won't be resurrected. Babe, our love is dying, I ain't out to easy but it now. And if you want me, then you probably should've come around. So go get wasted and then face it when you're coming down. When you're coming down, down, down. Hear my heart, take this boy away. How do I send him